Hello, and welcome back once again to Playing Away the series, where we give you that little bit extra insight into our opposition and what to expect from our upcoming Northern Premier League away days. But first, we've got to get through pre-season, and our second away day of pre-season will be to Derbyshire as we take on Buxton this Saturday. Match details down below in the description, and that's all you need to know ahead of the trip on Saturday. And for this one, we caught up with media officer at Buxton, Elliot Steadman. Elliot, welcome to Playing Away. First of all, just tell me a bit about your role at Buxton and how you got involved.
Yeah, so I've been with Buxton for I think since 2020, so 5 years with the club now. I was at Buxton Elite College and doing a media course, and I didn't really know what to do. I started covering the academy side as well as the college football side then, and then yeah, slowly after that, a role became available at Derbyshire Media Company to cover the first team at Buxton and do reports for them. And then as time's gone on, I've done various different things whilst working with the club and other external outlets. But yeah, currently I do match day tweets. So everything that's going on during the match, I'll be tweeting about, and as well as reporting on for North Derbyshire Radio and Derbyshire Media Company still. So I do a fair amount. Just I love Buxton, and I've been with them for, yeah, like I say, 5 years now. And last season I only missed one game, and the season before I didn't miss any games. So uh, I get about, and I love watching the club.
I bet you clock up some miles throughout a season then.
Yeah, absolutely do, and I'm lucky. I've got some good people around me that can get me to games and stuff as well. And there's a real good core of supporters at Buxton as well, which have been real good friends to me over the years, which is really good.
The club has very much sort of cemented its place in the National League North over the past sort of 4 or 5 seasons after coming out of the Northern Premier League. You got to the playoff eliminators last season. Just talk me through the 24-25 season for Buxton from your point of view.
Yeah, so it started. It was all change. We had first season as a full-time club. So obviously we lost lots of players from the previous season. We had lots of fantastic players that we did have to lose because obviously they sometimes can't commit to full-time being at the club. But we lost lots of players. We got a new manager in, John McGrath, who has been absolutely fantastic. And we didn't really know what to expect. I think fans would have been happy with sort of mid-table aspect, and then yeah, we crept into the playoffs on that final day of the season. I didn't think personally that it was going to happen because it was out of our hands, and it's one of those things that we came very close a couple of seasons ago under Craig Elliott. We went on a really good run and just fell short at the end. But I don't think we were quite good enough that time. I think last season, I think that squad we had and what we built up throughout the season, quite a young, youthful squad. We got there in the end, and I think we deserved that thoroughly. I think it was a shame against Chester because I thought we played quite well in that playoff game, but I just think it wasn't to be, unfortunately. But I think the season as a whole, very, very successful season as the first time as a full-time club, like I say, lots of young players. So throughout the season, you could really see that, and I think that will only help this season with the amount that we've kept as well, because obviously last season it was their first season, a lot of them in this environment and what we're doing and the structure and what we're trying to do. We had a lot of injuries at one point in sort of the Christmas period. I think this season will be more than ready to go again and learn from maybe some of the mistakes we made last season. And we've already made some fantastic signings to go again.
In terms of that sort of move to full time football, just put that into perspective because obviously clubs at sort of National League North level are very much some are full time, some are still part time. How does that sort of full time aspect work at Buxton in terms of sort of how the players' weeks are structured, so to speak.
Yeah, I think it was a very ambitious move from the chairman. The chairman's very ambitious, and he wants the club to do well. It's his club. He wants them to do well, and I think next season we'll see more of that. But yeah, in terms of going full time, like I said, we lost a lot of players, and it's difficult, but you've got to replace them. And I think we really utilized the loan market quite well. So being full time, uh, clubs are more likely to send us higher up clubs are more likely to send us players. I think from so we got a loan from Man City last season. True Grant played in goal all season for us. We had Keane Coleman from Leeds. We had Oliver Ewing from Leicester. So we've got all these top clubs that are able to loan us players because we are training a lot more than part-time clubs, and we're training every day. And also, I think one of the main aspects from last season was the overnight stays. I think that really helped us with in terms of we were able to go on a Friday and stay overnight to Saturday, and we won a lot of those games and performed quite well a lot of those games because of being able to bond more as a squad. And the gaffer said that recently in one of his interviews that one of the big aspects of last season we've learned was the overnight stays really helped, uh, and hence why we're going to Ireland next week for a game. So it's a good bonding experience that, and I think with the youthful squad, it's such a good core, and they all really get on. And maybe in past years then you might have had a bit of split, maybe necessarily, but with being together every single day, they are interconnected. They're speaking all the time. They're learning all the time from each other, and they're just a good group of people.
In terms of as you mentioned there, you've kept some players from last season. You've also made some summer signings, as sort of every club does at non-league level. There's always sort of room for change and players moving on and such. Just give me a sort of overview as to how the squad is building ahead of the competitive season.
Yeah, so goalkeeper wise, True Grant's loan ended and he's gone back to Man City. So we've currently got Paul Cooper, goalkeeper wise, who was in goal towards the end of last season a bit when True was out injured, which he did a fantastic job and was certainly up there as one of the better players towards the end of the season, and it was really good when called upon. So I'm more than happy with that. We've signed George Ward, who was Leamington's player of the season last season, so that's fantastic. Along with Sammy Robinson, who is also another defender who was also a player of the season at his club last season. So it's absolutely fantastic to see that these are the types of players that we're looking at. Tate Campbell has come in midfield. He's incredible from what I've heard. I didn't go to the preseason friendly against Barnsley on Tuesday, but apparently he's going to be some player this season. We've got we've got the likes of Luke Brennan on the wing, who is incredible. We had him last season, but he is a very fantastic player. And we also have JJ on the other side as well, Johnny Johnston, and he's come in and he's been really good as well, as well as bringing back Keane Coleman on a permanent, who was such a key player on loan last season, grabbed a hat trick against Scunthorpe when we beat them 3-0 at their place. So that just goes to show what type of player Keane is, and he's very versatile as well. We've kept hold of the captain, Connor Kirby, who I've said this on a number of different things I've been on, and he's really come into his own as a player. I think the past Connor used to get lots of cards for discipline and for talking back maybe to the refs and stuff. But since he's taken on that captaincy role from Josh Granite, who left before, who was a fantastic captain, he's got less yellow cards, I think, and he's took on that leadership really well. And And we're just, I think the squad in all is fantastic. I've not even mentioned Kieran Burton at the back, who is one of our stalwarts at the back as well. So yeah, we're really building a very strong squad, and I imagine maybe by the time it comes around to playing you, that we might have some more players through the door as well.
And I guess you sort of can use as many sort of pre-season cliches as you want, but I guess as with all clubs that'll sort of play friendlies at this time of the season, there's always opportunities for managers to look at players through trialists, and I guess that's something that you guys have done over the course of the pre-season campaign so far.
Yeah, we had a number of trialists on Tuesday night. So the number three looked particularly good, apparently, and yeah, so we had a number of them. But I think as well as the trialists, it's a good time to look at our academy players as well. We've got we newly under 21 squad last season, so that was the first time we did that, as well as our under 19s and under 18s that we've got, and our young bucks as well. A number of those players played against Barnsley, so I imagine we'll be seeing more of those to come, which is fantastic. I think that's one thing that the manager does really well, and John's fantastic. He really likes to bring young players through, and you can see from the average age of the squad last season, our average age of the squad was one of the youngest squads in the top how many divisions. So it's it's a real key point to John McGrath's side and what he wants to do. And I think he's not just signing players for the sake of signing players. He's signing players because he wants to develop them.
And in terms of the pre-season campaign overall, you mentioned your trip to Dublin just before the Bury game next week. You had that behind closed doors game against Forest Green this afternoon at the time of recording on Friday, and you mentioned the game against Barnsley on Tuesday night. I guess for you and the team at Buxton, it's key to sort of build a solid sort of foundations with the opposition that the manager has chosen to take on in pre-season.
Yeah, it's hard to gauge. Always is hard to gauge with preseason what is what is the way to take from these results and these things, because obviously beating Barnsley on Tuesday was quite a young youthful Barnsley squad. I mean, we don't know what type of squad that some other teams will bring. I don't know what to expect at all from the game in Ireland. I don't know anything about the team that we're playing, so I can't say too much about that. We're playing Warrington Town, who we know a lot about because we've played them in the past few seasons as well. So it's hard to gauge what we're going to expect, but I think we've learned from last season's preseason friendlies, and we've got together again another set of solid fixtures really.
And looking at how the sort of playing style was there last season, pushing sort of it into the playoffs on the final game of the season, what can the Bury fans expect to see on the pitch from Buxton?
Yeah, exciting football. It's going to be exciting no matter what. We didn't have very many games last season where there wasn't goals. I don't think we had many nil-nils at all really. So there will be goals. We play fast, exciting football, and it's attractive football. You like to get it down on the ground. There's not very often that we're putting it in the air, and and yeah, we'll see exciting football.
And off the pitch, what can the Shakers fans expect? What's the ground like at Silverlands?
Yeah, the Sylvans is a brilliant ground. So we're currently in the process of we're eventually going to get rid of one of the stands and make that bigger and more and better as well. So the rest of the ground, it's a fantastic ground. You can see Solomon's Temple on the far side, all the hills as you come into Buxton as well. There's lots of hillsides, and it's all lovely. Buxton's a lovely place itself. So that'll be absolutely amazing for them as well. And yeah, it's a lovely ground. It's an artificial pitch, so obviously that makes a difference to whether it's raining or whether it's warm, whether we need to water it a lot because we like to get the ball on and zip it. So if it is the weather it is at the minute, we're gonna have to water it a lot because otherwise it's not going to be moving and it's not going to be how we want to play football. So certainly look out for that depending on the weather.
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard of a club watering an artificial pitch before for that extra zip. That might be first on me. I'll,
Yeah, it's certainly something that I'm pretty sure we definitely do it just so we can knock it about a bit better.
fair enough. That's a bit of a. I don't know if that's a non-league niche or not, but I'm sure we may find out on that one. But in terms of the competitive season, once you've sort of got past um, your friendlies, we spoke previously about that sort of playoff eliminator defeat against Chester at the end of last season. What's going to be a good season for Buxton in 25-26?
Oh, it's difficult because on paper of things we've signed some really good signings. I think I think for me it has to be we get playoffs again this season. If not pushing for the league. I think John will want to be pushing as far as he can, but there are some incredible sides in this league. Obviously, we've lost two very solid teams who have got promoted, so only a bonus to us what we can do. But I think you look at the back end of last season and what we were performing last season and the core we've kept and the players we've signed, that top seven is the target. We've got to get in those playoff spots.
And sort of looking at the future, you talked before about how ambitious that the chairman is at Buxton, and obviously you've done a lot of development to the ground itself, as you mentioned, their plans to sort of redevelop a stand as well. Is there, I don't know, maybe I'm bit ambitious with this question myself, but is the ambition in the future to bring the football league to Buxton?
I would imagine so. I would hope so. It's only the thoughts of me, but yeah, I'd imagine so. I mean, I think you've got to look at the club of how far it's come in just the past sort of 5 years. Since I don't want to take credit for it, but since I've been in the club, we have gone further and further. So we've had two brilliant FA Cup runs. We played Morecambe in the FA Cup, which was on TV. We also played Ipswich in the FA Cup a couple of years ago, and we got promoted from the NPL. We've consolidated a bit in the National League North, and then we've got playoffs. So we've only been really improving over the past few years. We've also got a few county cups, a couple of county cups as well, which might not mean a lot to some people, but it definitely gives them confidence and just shows to every team around Derbyshire what they are, and they're improving. And the goal must be to only improve further. So I can only imagine that wanting to be in the Football League will be in the sides of some people's minds.
I feel bad now for putting that question on the spot. But just going back to the game next Saturday, we could sort of use as many sort of pre-season cliches as you want in terms of it's an opportunity for managers to assess the squad, minutes in the legs, etc. But at the end of the day, at the end of the 90 minutes, I'm sure both managers will want to come away with a victory. How do you see the game going, and can you sort of sum it up with a score prediction?
Oh, that's difficult. All right. So it's very dependent on, I think, our trip to Ireland as well, which is obviously before pre-recorded. We don't know what players we're going to play then and how we're going to perform in that game. Obviously, it's return for DJ Pedro, who was briefly with us as well. Obviously, he's scored bags tons of goals for you lot since joining, so it should be good to see him. Uh, I would go with 3-1 to Buxton.
Oh, that's
what I would.
a bold
That's
prediction.
that's what I would go with.
But I guess it's in terms of that's that time of the season which it's difficult to call, and both sides will be looking for that win. Elliot, thank you very much for joining us on Playing Away.
No worries, thank you.
Big thanks to Elliot for his time on Playing Away for this episode. We're back with another Playing Away very soon as we take on Radcliffe on the 26th of July. We've also got more home football at Gig Lane as we take on Ashton Athletic this Tuesday. Also got games against Channock Richard and Cheadle coming up, all the details of which you can find at our website, buryfc.co.uk. And you can also catch up with all the latest away ticket news and club news and everything you need to know across our website and social media. We'll see you in the next one.